Can you speak more about your character? Who is he and what role does he play in Working Man?
Working Man is a great movie directed by a great director with a big film star in it. And I love doing it. But the real reason I was there wasn't necessarily to play another Russian gangster. The real reason I was there was to spend time with my good friend Jason Statham and to have my first experience with David Ayer, who, I suppose I've probably, I've made 160 movies and I think I've probably been directed 5 times. Most film directors go, do it again, faster, slower, little less, little more. Come on, Jace, more exciting. And David Ayer is a proper craftsman. He creates the character, he creates the story. He's invested totally in all of the characters, and I was really, really knocked out by him. And Brad Pitt's making a film with him in New Zealand at the moment, and Brad Pitt can work with any director he wants, and he's chosen David Ayer, and I think that's really indicative of David's talent.
And yeah, it's a really intense performance because when we see you, you're like a cat on a hot tin roof, constantly on the move. It's like steamed up. So how did you achieve this state of endless frustration with David? How did you discuss it?
When you work on those projects, especially if it's with a friend, especially if it's with a friend who got you the job, you want to do as well as you can. You want to serve the script as best you can. And honestly, because David Ayer, I think, is such a talent, I was desperate to do it, to work as hard as I could, just to kind of like put myself in his mind, for the future. I think so the intensity of the character is something that he kind of demands. Even though the film is an action film, he still demands the truth. He wants the truth. He always wants the truth. So yeah, that's probably where it came from.
You mentioned you're an experienced actor playing so many films. So what did you learn from David?
What did I learn?
Mm-hmm.
I think I learned not to just do it in remote control. For years I've been kind of doing the same thing. Different costume, different name, but kind of the same part, and that's great. And it pays the rent and it gets me through the day and it's all fine. But what David said was that that's not good enough for me. I'm not happy with just the same old, same old. You need to invest in it. So I think he taught me to love the craft again a little bit. He taught me to love the truth a bit, Yeah, that was probably what David taught me, to find the truth again, rather than just do the kind of like action looks and, mumbled voice.
So what makes you feel excited about the projects you take?
Well, now, because I'm spoiled and I've worked a lot, now when you do projects like Boiling Point, which will be, a 55-minute film with no cuts, or, Speaking Russian, anything that puts another level on the pressure, and another level on what you need to be able to achieve. I enjoy that a lot. I really enjoy it because, like I said to the last journalist, she was saying, "Oh, was it exciting, with all the explosions and stuff?" And I'm like, well, unless it's Hiroshima, I've probably experienced pretty much every sort of explosion on any film set. So it takes a lot to raise my pulse now, and that's not me being flippant. That's just because I know I'm spoiled and I've lived a very blessed life and worked on a lot of great movies. So yeah, another element added to what I have to achieve is always something exciting. The really thing that's always excited me more than anything about film is geography, So before I had the kids, I'd always want to go, I wanted to travel my whole life, and with film, it's allowed me to do that. So for years, I'd rather do a bad film in India than a good film anywhere else, just because I love being in India. So yeah, location as well.
And before we wrap up, I'm also curious. You mentioned how you're working with David, and did you learn anything how to also interact and play with different actors, because you're not only playing with Jason, but you're also playing with two other actors who are like your characters' nephews, right? As far as I remember correctly.
The thing is, they were both young, right? And the thing is now, for me as an old veteran, someone who's worked a lot, it's important when you work with other actors that are younger than you or less experienced than you, the real trick is to make them comfortable, So I try to spend time with them before we get on set, go through it, speak in makeup, make a fuss, have a laugh with them, so that by the time we get to set, they're comfortable, because everyone works best when they feel confident. And to feel confident, you've got to be comfortable. And to feel comfortable, you've got to feel safe, you know. So that's what I do now. That's what I try and do, is to try and make everyone feel as comfortable as possible.
Thank you so much.
A pleasure, my brother.